Hey guys, welcome back to Easy Street Garage. And a few weeks ago, you guys probably saw my video where I installed the Trufiber wicker bill on my Shelby GT350. I absolutely love the way it looks. It is actually also functional. It was not a difficult install. It installs right onto your stock spoiler in the back. However, I am severely OCD. And as I looked at my install and I started looking at the balance from the rear of the car with this exposed carbon fiber to the front of the car, I was missing something. And that is, I needed some additional carbon fiber. So I looked at a couple options. I could have done the mirror covers, which I did not. I could have done the vents on the side of the car or a front splitter. But they had a piece that I was interested in, and I don't think it was overdoing it, and it was a fairly simple install, at least at this point. And that was the hood vent, the hood extractor, heat extractor for the Shelby GT350 hood. And that's what I chose. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Trufiber. I like their products, and so that's why I'm posting these videos. So let's move out to the front of the car, and I'm gonna go through step by step what it took me to install the hood vent or the heat extractor for the Shelby GT350. So basically, what you've got is it comes stock with a plastic hood extractor on the front. So before you start to try to remove that piece, you'll notice that the heat extractor has basically a tether cord connected to a nut. It's imperative that you take this nut off of the extractor before you start trying to manipulate the clips. Because if you don't, you're going to break those clips every time. Now, in my case, I really didn't care. I'm getting rid of it. But I just wanted to go through the steps to get there. Now, I mentioned to you before, OCD kicks in on me. And so what happens next is I take a standard, simple install, and I start looking at ways to improve that. And I did that, and I want to share those with you in this video tonight. And if you have some tips that you would like to share with the viewers, please install those in the comments below. That would be helpful in the install of these products down the road. All right, so the nut is removed, the tether's out of the way, and I have already pushed back the clips on this hood heat extractor. So at this stage of the game, guys, I'm gonna drop the hood, we'll lower the hood a bit. Hey, just a note also that you might want to do, this is a helpful hint, and that is I always, when I'm working under the hood, I always take, in my case, a moving pad. I picked it up fairly inexpensive at Harbor Freight, and I always put it over top the engine. You're gonna, if you drop a little, like that nut, if you drop that nut, you're never gonna find it again. So it's always nice to have something here to keep your motor clean, keeping parts captive if you should drop them. So something to think about when you move forward. All right, so we're gonna go to the top end of this thing where I've already taken the hood heat extractor and I've loosened it up, right? And so basically once you get this thing loose, it's pretty simple to remove. The OE part is basically just plastic. And so for those people that do their own detailing or detail shops, if you're going to detail a car, you're going to maybe do some wet sanding, or let's just say you're going to clay bar a car, this Shelby GT350, you'll want to remove this heat extractor. And so it is simple to do. Just make sure you remove the nut first, the tether, and then you can manipulate the clamps, the clips, to get them free from the car. All right? So I've got this out of the way. And so right now, the next piece of the puzzle, if you're going to do any modifications to your car, and I always highly recommend that you do a quick clean under this hood vent of the extractor, because it was certainly pretty dirty underneath here. And so I'm just going to clean that up. The other piece of the puzzle too is I made some modifications to this install from Trufiber. You could actually take this product from Trufiber, and I'll give you a close-up look. The quality of this product is very, very solid, right? It's a good-looking product. So, but I've made some modifications to it simply because it's how I am. So, it's a real simple install out of the box. You take the heat extractor, and it basically fits into the hood area here. There are clips along the back that will retain the heat extractor. And then from the front side here, there are 4 tabs. They're metal tabs, and you need to bend those 4 metal tabs into place. That's all it takes. It's that simple. The problem for me is I really didn't want this thing moving around because there's a lot of pressure from air trying to get out from underneath the hood. So I didn't want this thing moving around. And the other thing that you'll notice when you open up the box and you look at the Trufiber piece is that bolt that was in the OE vent, the bolt that's here in the OE vent, there isn't one on the product from Trufiber. So basically, if you don't use it, you just have to remove your tether. Well, I want to stay as close to, the product as I can. So what I did was I made a couple modifications, and I want to share those with you on this video. Number one, I added basically I think it's a 7mm tab. It's a bolt, and let me see if I can't get that to where you can take a look at it. There you go, up against the car. So what I did was I just JB welded this stud, and I'm just going to put a nut on there, and then I'm going to tie it in with the tether. If this thing were ever to come off of the car at high speed, then you'll keep the product. Okay, it may bounce around on your hood and do some damage there, but the product is not going to fly off the car and cause an issue for someone else that might be following you or on the track or whatever the case might be. So I wanted to keep the tether. I put the stud here. So when I put this together, I'm going to attach the tether to this vent. I did one other thing. There is a tab on the inside of the hood that stud actually goes through, right? And it is actually part of the car. It's painted white. And you could see this tab through the vent here from Trufiber. So if you don't want to see that tab, I highly recommend you do one of 2 things. You can just basically cut it off with a cutting wheel, and I thought about doing that. But for now, all I did was I painted it black. I tested it. I put the product on here. You can see it. It reflects a bit, but it doesn't jump out at you as if it was just white, basically the color of the car. The other thing I did was I added to the vent, I added 3M tape to the product. 3M tape does not come on this product. And I, again, didn't want this thing bouncing around. I felt like I wanted a little cushion behind it, and I also wanted some automotive adhesive there to hold the product in place. So I added the 3M automotive double-sided adhesive tape to the vent. And as you can see right now, I've basically curled the tips or the tape away so that when I install this product in a second here, all I have to do is then peel away the protective piece, the red piece on the double-sided tape, and it's ready to stay in place. I'll open the hood from there. I'm going to bend the 4 tabs that they have on here, and basically this product's installed on the car. However, I kept the tether, and I am going to replace that on this tab right here. So I'm going to go to work and follow along. So here we go. We're going to install this product now. I'm going to pull the tabs away so I can get to double-sided tape a little bit easier once I get it on here. So I've got 4 pieces under there. There are 4 tabs at the rear of this piece, and so I'm just going to basically line them up, get them, and then we'll pull a lost piece of tape there. But all right, so we're going to get this thing lined up and get the tabs in here. All right, so live TV, right? All kinds of stuff can go wrong, and it probably is going to. But in my case, all right, here we go. So we're pretty lined up. By the way, guys, I don't edit a lot of my stuff. What you see is live. It's what you get. So not much, well, no editing here. Okay, so I've got all my pieces lined up in the back. The tabs are lined up on the car. I'm going to pull the long strip off the front here. And it's pretty well lined up. And I've got some adhesive to it. I think it's more cushion for anything for me, but it'll certainly work. All right, so from the bottom end of things here, hope you can see that pretty well. Let me adjust the camera here so you can get a bird's eye view of what's going on. Basically, I'll pull this off, let you take a look at it and see what you think. But once you put this, once you put the extractor up here, you can basically see what I've got going here. Here are the tabs to the rear, right? Here is the post that I put in to reattach the tether. And then here are the 4 clips that you're provided by Trufiber to clip this into place, all right? So I'm gonna put us back up on the tripod here because I can't do that, can't do it with just one hand. So, all right, here we go. The tabs are, I'm gonna bend these tabs up into place. We'll do the center tabs first. I've got those pretty well pulled down. We'll do the outside tabs. We'll bend those up. All right, I've got those in place. I feel really good about that. And guys, I mean, that's it. The only piece of the puzzle left is the part I told you about. I wanted to keep this tether. So what I did again is that tether is basically welded with JB Weld. Holds up pretty good. You guys know all about JB Weld. And so from here, I've got a nylon nut, and I'm just gonna slide the nut up on here, tighten it up, and I feel pretty good about that install. It was simple, didn't take me a whole lot of time. So I now have another piece of carbon fiber on the car. Let me pull you off of here so you can get a really good look at what that looks like on the car. I think it looks really, really good. From a distance, it looks outstanding. So I've got a little bit of carbon fiber going on at the back end of this car. I've got a little touch of it up at the front end. In the next month or so, if you're out and about traveling, looking at some car shows, you'll certainly see this Shelby GT350. I'm sure we'll get it down to Carlisle, I'm hoping. And then we'll certainly see you around town here in Cincinnati in this Shelby GT350. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give me a thumbs up. Add some comments below if you have some other helpful tips. I'm sure some folks would be glad to get those. And last but not least, would you smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you can get some more updates. I'm planning to put a lot of content on. It's raw data, not a lot of video editing in here. So please hit the subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed the video. And until the next time here at Easy Street, we're signing out. Thanks for tuning in.